Good morning. Welcome to the Northpoint of View, here with Dr. Walter Kemmsies. Walter.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm great. It's been a minute.
So how have you been?
I'm great. Thanks.
Your son got his master's?
Yeah, and it was AI. It was the class of AI.
Oh,
All those thesis, 80% of the thesis statements were related to AI. So, brings up a topic.
yes.
Is Google making us stupid? And I'll preface that by saying, well, some of us are maybe already stupid. So
Yes.
what happens next?
Exactly. So the key question is it making us stupider? Right? No, I think, looking at the overall track record, the technology is great. It's so convenient that there are people who know their way to the supermarket, but when they get in the car, they still program the address in as if they didn't know how to get there.
Right.
It's so instinctive when they get into a vehicle. And then what will happen to them is what happened to me one day a long time ago. So we're way back in London, 22 years ago. And I worked at UBS. And we had to go visit clients all over the place, US, Europe, Asia. And you get back, and there was a fleet of cars and drivers who would pick the executives up and take them back to their homes. And so one Saturday morning, I arrive, I get in the car, and the driver, who was always assigned to me, so he knew where I lived, and it was very nice. And this wasn't just any old driver. UBS hired taxi drivers. And for those of you who don't know, in London, you have to pass what's called the knowledge test before you can get your taxi medallion. And that means you need to know every single road in the greater London area, which direction they go. Is it one way, two way, whatever? And if you don't get it pretty much 100% right, you're not going to get a license. And so that's the quality of knowledge and background of the drivers we had. Well-trained, well-educated. We get in the car, and he goes, Mr. Kemmsies, I apologize, but the GPS is out. And we go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you need 3 satellites for the GPS to catch a signal. I didn't know anything about that. I'm repeating what he said. It could be 5, could be 2, whatever. But he said, one of them is out. And the GPS can't find your place. So I can't plot a route. And I don't know how to get to your house. I go, what? You took the knowledge. And come on. And see, I live in Keats Grove, right next door to John Keats' house, the Royal Free Hospital. These are landmarks that everybody knew in London. And he couldn't figure out how to get there from Heathrow. And as we were driving and I was directing him, he goes, you don't use GPS? And I go, yeah, but I don't drive much either. London is a complicated place to live and drive. But he goes, I'm going to turn this off and never use it again. He goes, I'm so scared that I lost everything I put into passing the knowledge. So that was in 2004 or so. And then in 2008, Nicholas Carr, I believe that's his name, he published a piece in the Atlantic Monthly. 2008. And the title of the article is Google Making Us Stupid? And anybody watching this who's interested in it, all you have to do is type into your browser, is Google making us stupid? And it'll take you right to the article. And it is so famous, so commented on. I still think he got a little bit of it wrong, because he talked about how Google was reducing our ability to focus. And that was his biggest fear about, the effect of technology on us, is we wouldn't have to stop and think critically because the computer would do it for you. And like my poor driver in London, that's not a good thing. I mean, when, as they say, the crap hits the fan, you need to be able to think for yourself, especially if your IT stuff isn't working.
Yeah, I think the fans hit the crap now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're surrounded.
We are. We're totally surrounded. There are people who, without their GPS, So I'm not going to say who it was, but not to embarrass this person. But in my family, it took the GPS wouldn't connect from her phone to her car. And so she called me up frantic. She couldn't reach my son, her husband. And he was in the subway someplace, so no signal. And I had to talk her out of where she was and to the right place. I said, yes. So I said, they said, this is going to be, you're not going to like this, but unplug your phone from the car. You've got it plugged in, right? She goes, yeah. I go, do that. And she goes, oh, the GPS works. I go, uh-huh. Now, the IT systems on the automobiles are trying to become very AI focused so they can take over the driving from you. Like you said, you get in the car with a cup of coffee and a book and you let the car drive you. But we are a couple of decades away from that. Yeah, in my opinion, I could be wrong, it could be sooner. But the problem is I wouldn't want to be driving in an autonomous vehicle during a snowstorm in midtown Manhattan with protesters on the street. Okay, I think that's just not going to work. You put the technology in and then you expand its role over time. If you look at like what Walmart is doing now, is they increase their use of automation, is the technology worked for these SKUs, but when you set the technology to, SKUs, standard, whatever unit, that's the labeling for the different commodities. And so these are all very similar, and the technology worked fine for sorting, packaging, whatever. But these over here are different SKUs. They have different weight, different whatever, and you can't treat these the same as those. And so they install it, instead of trying to do one system for everything, right? Instead of this autonomous vehicle thing, one car that can completely replicate a human, they said, let's just use the technology where the SKUs are amenable. And then we'll learn how to adapt that technology to the next set of SKUs, and then to the next set of SKUs until we can fully automate things. It's brilliant. It's what they should have done in the first place. But most people were encouraged to just take a deep dive. And that's where the problems kick in, I think. So, but we were strayed way off the topic. The key question is the technology making us stupid?
Right.
The other piece, besides losing your ability to concentrate and think on the fly, is it affects your memory. And that was what I was referring to with the London driver. The use of GPS basically rotted his brain. He lost knowledge. He lost memory. He just said he was sitting there trying to remember, how do I get to Keats Close? And, you need to know how to do that. That's an obvious place, And he said he was drawing a blank. And
it's the same issue of people that do crosswords every day.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to keep that burn in
exactly
your brain somehow. And if it's all Claude or all, Copilot, you're a passenger not watching where you're going.
Exactly. You're sitting there blindfolded in an autonomous electric vehicle. I could not.
Just throw rocks at all of it, Walter. Go ahead.
No, but you know what? We're going to get there. I mean, look at how the automation in the warehouse is working. We're getting there, you know. But it's going to take a while till we can do all the SKUs. It's going to take a while till the technology does everything. But there are some consequences which we can talk about in another video, because I got a signal here from the boss that we are beginning to hit the limit.
Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Em. Walter, it's always great, man.
All right, man. Great seeing you.
All right, thanks, Walter.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.